Back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss one of the very cool feature in Xcode. For example, have you ever noticed that when we try to write for, it says for statement and then there is a summary repeats code a given number of time, and on left side you notice there are curly opening and closing bracket. Where this is coming from? Well, Xcode has provided these code snippets, and these are available in your Xcode. Right now I have this playground where I am writing this piece of code. So if we press Command Shift L, Xcode brings up this whole library of snippets, where on the top it says user, where you can create your own snippets and it will be part of this section. Then we have Swift library, Swift code snippets, closures, closure stored constant declaration, defer statement, for statement that we just saw, and we have also Objective-C library snippets. For example, this is how we write typical class extension. How to create now snippets for your own source code. For example, typically we write callbacks in an API with closures, and let's say there is one closure that has two arguments. One is employee optional and another is error optional, and it basically returns void. Now this is a callback closure syntax which either returns an employee or it returns an error. And not everyone is able to remember this piece of code, and if we have to use it in your project, this syntax, we can create it by a custom code snippet by selecting this line and go to editor and press this create code snippet button, and it will give us a title. For example, let's say it's a API closure syntax. Let's keep this title, closure that returns optional employee and optional error. You can add any description. Here you can select the language, and it platforms, you can select iOS, or you can mark this it is available for all, and then we can select scope, that it is a class implementation, a code expression, it's a function or a method, or it is available on top level in code. Right now I'm selecting it is available. This piece would be available at all scopes. And the completion is very important, because when we tried writing for Xcode auto completed for statement, and it brought up that suggestion. So let's write something that we remember, and we say API closure snippet API. Let me copy this and press done. After we press done, then it is a part of user section. Now how we can use this? So there are multiple ways. For example, first is API closure. You can drag it here and it will be available, or you can also write your API, that keyword that we added. It says API closure snippet, closure that returns optional employee, an optional error. Press this, and here we have this. You notice that this snippet is bound to one particular uh, type, which is employee class, and it might not be the case that we are always, for different API call, we would be returning different type of object, for example employee, customer, user, or any other. So it should make more sense if we make it a placeholder so that we can inject any type here. And to do that, we have to go back in our code snippet, select this and press edit, and instead of marking this employee here, we can create a placeholder, and that is right. Okay, yeah, let's angle bracket start and hash angle bracket close, and now press it done. Now if I try to pull this, now it says it is a type. You can now type any type here. For example, it can be string or it can be employee. So this is a more usable. We can mark it with for different types, but we can also make better use of these custom snippets. For example, for every table view controller, we have to write this again and again method sulfur row at index, all those delegates and data source method, and we can create similarly those snippets and save our time. For example, here I have created these delegate and data source methods, and with help of one click I can bring that in code and try to write there. I find these very helpful and it saves a great amount of time. So if you like it, please let me know your comments, that what interesting. If you are already using such similar custom code snippets, please let me know. I would love to know what you are using, but I find it extremely helpful. That's all for now. If you like it, please subscribe so that my new videos would be reaching to you as soon as I release them. Thank you so much.